Do you guys remember how last fall we had a coup in Bolivia, and it made no sense whatsoever? The Organization of American States asserted there was fraud because of an increase in the vote counting and the vote totals for Evo Morales on the second day of voting, even though if you understood anything, you would see that areas that were still going to be reported were even stronger areas for him. So he ended up winning by a large enough margin to not go to a runoff, not like a embarrassing blowout margin, but a margin enough to win. And it makes a lot of sense because even though maybe people going into three terms, or I believe it was 3 terms, had Morales fatigue, he had lifted millions of people out of poverty and completely repositioned Bolivia. The average height of Bolivians had gone up under Morales' government. But the OAS saw an opportunity to empower a coup. There were wealthy landholding interests that had already hated Morales and his reforms. One can only speculate, but assume, as I do, a U.S. role, as well as interest in companies that might have wanted to get access to vital natural resources in Bolivia, like lithium, without partnership schemes with the government that provided social infrastructure, which is what the Morales government put in place. He had to flee. His life was under threat. The coup government, of course, did not go to his nearest rival in the election. It went to an assortment of really what could only be described as Christian fascists. And guess what? In addition to paramilitary killings, human rights abuses, and completely failing in handling the pandemic, they're not having elections. I thought this was the whole point of the reason why people like Yasha Monk said that this needed to happen. Somehow, an election that now even the Washington Post acknowledges was legitimate and valid and Evo Morales won, has turned over to a Christian theocratic government that should make any anyone with secular politics blush. We're not even having elections now, let alone the illegitimate elections that they were planning for that would have banned the movement for socialism from running and attempted to do lawfare against other leaders in socialist politics in Bolivia.
Yeah, it's like not only have they been targeting, other people in Moss, Inez said that she wasn't going to run for election.
This is the president.
She was going to the president, the current, the
ruler,
the president,
the illegitimate president.
So she said she wasn't going to run for election. She was just going to be an interim president. Well, she changed her tune about that a couple months ago. And then in this upcoming in the election that they canceled because of coronavirus, the parliament, which now still has like a significant amount of mass members, said that if you're going to cancel the elections, you have to set a date for future elections. You can't just postpone the elections, permanently. And they passed overwhelmingly a ruling that they would hold elections sometime, I believe, in August. And the illegitimate president has now blocked that. So even though the Democratic majority in their legislature has said that we have to have elections, now the president is saying that they won't even have that. So any asshole who was going on saying like, "Oh, this is about restoring democracy in Bolivia by taking out the democratically elected victor in the most recent election," and now canceling those elections, they're full of shit. And
this is sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that we have this.
You can set it up.
We have this story here where the social movements are now coming forward and they're saying that they're going to start mobilizing against the regime unless they announce a date for democratic elections. So we have it right here.
Podemos aceptar que en tan corto tiempo nos hayan endeudado al Fondo Monetario Internacional, nos sigan endeudando al Banco Mundial, y no es justo que nos puedan decir que para la gente pobre el día de hoy no hubiera recursos. Todo está en riesgo, la minería está en riesgo. El tema de lo que es los transgénicos, por si acaso gran transmisor, cancerígeno para la humanidad a nivel mundial. Por ejemplo, que estoy seguro que se va a repetir en todos los departamentos a nivel de Bolivia, porque Bolivia se respeta. Lo único que le queda a este gobierno transitorio y a través de su órgano plurinacional electoral a la cabeza de Salvador Romero es que nos digan el día de elecciones que se va a plantear, pero ya de manera formal. Caso contrario, ellos van a ser los responsables de las acciones que pueda tomar el pueblo en su conjunto. Muchas gracias.
It's incredibly important. They're on. And so we'll continue to follow that very closely.
You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.